All right, so we got a few more units of length that we need to write down here. So let's take a look at this one. So this one can be written as HH or just H by itself. And so what is that? Well, HH stands for hand height. Okay? Now, what types of things do we measure with our hand and what part of our hand? Well, initially, there was one thing that was measured by hands, and it just so happened to be that it was horses. And so when horses were being sold, they measured the horse by hands. They measure it from their hoof, the front hoof, up to their shoulder. So not to their neck, not to their top of their head or their ears, but up to their shoulder. And they measured using hands. Now, everybody's hand is a different height and width. And so they had to make it a standard, meaning equal for whoever it was. The person that they decided to make this a standard to was the King of England at the time. And there is an issue with that, though, because kings die. And so when one king came into reign, then his hand might be slightly different, bigger, smaller than the previous king. So they ended up making this a standard unit of 4 inches per hand. And really what they do is they're measuring hand height from basically this part of the palm up to that part of the palm. And you can sort of measure going across there, and that gives you the hand height of the horse. Okay, so horses typically are 8 to 10 hands easy high or more in that aspect. Okay, I guess it'd be more than 8. Okay, then we have foot to fathom. Now, you've all heard the term fathom before. You probably just don't realize it. If anybody has ever watched the cartoon movie of The Little Mermaid, in The Little Mermaid, Ariel is singing in one of her songs and she talks about fathoms below. So a fathom is actually 6 feet down below. It just so happens that we bury bodies about 1 fathom below. So in the ocean, they talk about fathoms, like how deep the ocean is. They use that in many cases. They use the term fathom. The other term, or one that we want to look at, is kilometers and AU. And that's a capital A and a capital U. And so we're talking astronomical units. Now, if we are talking astronomical, obviously we are talking about space. And what we are looking at here is the distance, 150 million kilometers per astronomical unit. What an astronomical unit really is the average distance from the sun to planet Earth. And notice I said the average distance. Remember, Earth is not going around in a circle around the sun. It's going around in an elliptical orbit, which means that it's sort of oval in shape. So the average distance that this Earth is away from the sun is 150 million kilometers from the sun. And that is known as an astronomical unit. Okay, so these are our last units of measurement that you need really for length. And so we will move on to the next types of units.